everyone, this is Lena from Fourth Wave. Today I sat down with Eliana Berriera. She's a 20-year-old UT student from Del Rio, Texas, who also happens to be an avid Ska fan. We talked a little bit about how she got interested in the genre, where she thinks it's headed, and her experiences bringing ska bands to southern Texas. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got interested in ska music and how old you were when you did?
Sure, I was probably about, I'd say 15 or 16. I had this best friend, and her older brother was pretty into ska music. So, me and my best friend kind of got into it like that. We started out by listening to more ska punk type of stuff, and then gradually eased our way into the more mellow ska, I'd say, yeah.
What kind of bands were you initially interested in?
Initially, I was really into, like, Operation Ivy, Catch-22, Real Big Fish, like, faster third wave type stuff. Yeah.
And then that changed?
Yeah, I guess I got more into, like, older stuff, so, like, specials, and then, like, I also got into bands that played, like, older bands, so, like, the Slackers. I was pretty into them for a while. Still am, yeah. Good band.
Cool. And what do you think attracted you to this music, or why was it enjoyable to listen to?
Well, at the time, I was in band, like the school band, so I always thought it was really cool that they used, like, brass instruments and saxophones, and yeah, it was just sounded pretty awesome, and I like that you could dance to it a lot. So that was a big factor. I really like dancing. So.
Was ska music popular at your high school, do you think?
I would say it would probably be, like, the least popular genre in my high school. Yeah, I don't really know too many other people from my high school that were into ska besides me and my friend and a couple of other friends. Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I guess ska music in general wasn't really popular in my generation, I guess. With my sister's older brother, he grew up, like, in the 90s, where, like, ska kind of had, like, this revival. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I don't know. Pop music was pretty popular, and, like, well, of course, but and, like, rap. There was a lot of rap going on in my high school. Yeah.
So if you had to define ska music, how would you do that?
I'd say, and a lot of people kind of disagree with me, but I'd say it's kind of reggae and punk if they had a baby mixed in with some jazz.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty appropriate.
Yeah,
I would say.
It's pretty awesome.
So did you go to a lot of shows when you were in high school?
I tried to. There wasn't too much going on in my hometown though. So
where are you from?
I'm from Del Rio. It's pretty small. The closest big city is like 2.5 hours away, and that's San Antonio. So it's kind of hard to get to shows. But me and my friend, we kind of started this thing where we would bring bands to Del Rio to play. We tried to get a couple of ska bands, but the closest that we got to that was probably just, like, one punk band that had a couple of ska songs. But it was pretty awesome. Yeah.
So did you ever get the chance to see any of the bands that you were really into, like Real Big Fish? I know they still tour.
Not whenever I was in high school, but actually my senior year, after I graduated, I went to Warped Tour, and there was Less Than Jake played. That year, and I wouldn't say that I've been to that many ska shows, though. Probably a lot less than I'd like to. I'd like to go to more, yeah.
So when you saw Less Than Jake, can you just talk about what the atmosphere was like at that show?
Yeah, it was really chill, and like, it was kind of awesome because everybody that was there at their stage were like fans, because a lot of people will just maybe like walk up to a stage and start listening to whatever's playing, but mostly everyone that was there were already fans. A lot of dancing. It was a very cheerful atmosphere. It wasn't like moody or anything. It was pretty upbeat, pretty awesome. The band was really energetic, which was like, it was really fun. It was fun.
Cool. And do you think there's more opportunities to see ska music in Austin as opposed to?
Oh yeah, there is so much more going on. The only thing is that I can't exactly, excuse me, get into some of the shows because a lot of them are at Flamingo Cantina, which is 21 and up. So yeah, but
is that a place you think you'll go when you turn 21?
Oh yeah,
shows?
I'll probably go there quite often.
Yeah. That's cool. And do you play any instruments yourself?
Yeah, I played bass. Throughout high school, I was in a couple of bands. Kind of lost that skill whenever I came to college. I just didn't have time. Stopped practicing. But last year, my friends and I started a band, and I sang in it. So that's, I guess, not really an instrument that I play, but vocals. I did that for a while.
And was that a ska band or no?
It was not a ska band, but we did do ska-ish cover of what song was it? I think it was a song by The Cure. I don't really remember which one, but I know we did like a pretty upbeat ska version of it.
I love ska covers of 80s.
Yeah.
Classics.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome. It was one of my favorites.
I would break down at your feet and beg forgiveness, plead with you, but I know that it's too late. And now there's
so when you got to Austin, did you meet more people who were into this type of music? Or?
I did. I did. I definitely. There's. I think there's a lot more diversity in what people listen to here, and just in. I guess something else that I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems like most of the people that listen to ska are the type of people that would go to college here. So I don't know. Yeah, met quite a few people.
What types of people do you think are like drawn to ska music? Or
I think, well, since it has that like element of the brass instruments being used and stuff, I would say people that maybe in marching bands. I know a lot of people like ska because they can play one of those instruments. And I guess along with that is like people that would probably go to college, like higher education. That seems to be like the type of people that are in marching bands, though. That, yeah. Also, stoners. I think stoners are kind of really into ska music too. So it's kind of two different types of people, but same mix. Yeah.
Cool. You think that has to do with the reggae?
Yeah, I think that might have to do with the reggae element.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you said earlier you listened to a lot of ska in high school and then kind of stopped listening to it a little bit now that you're in college. Can you talk a little bit more about that and why that?
Yeah, I think I just kind of fell out of it because I started listening to a lot more of just like top 40, what's on the radio type of stuff. I didn't get to bring a lot of CDs that I own with me whenever I moved here, so I lost a little bit of that, and yeah.
Do you think part of that also is that there's not a lot of new ska music coming out?
Yeah, there's I would say that's a big part of it because the trend seems to be going more towards like folksy, artsy music. More mellow, kind of chill music, not so much dancey, upbeat stuff. So,
do you think there's any chance that there could be another big wave of ska music in the future? Or do you think it's kind of dying out?
I think there's a possibility, but I don't know if it would start here in Austin. It'd probably be somewhere in California, Southern California. That seems to be a pretty big ska area. I don't know. It'd be hard for ska to make a comeback. I think it'd have to come back with like probably also like punk music, which is also kind of in a in a rut at this time. But I think it's possible.
Yeah. So the first wave was kind of more Jamaican reggae based. The second wave was a lot of British punk, and the third wave was kind of more American pop punk type stuff. If there was a fourth wave of ska music, what do you think that would sound like?
Well, I know that a lot of newer ska bands and punk bands that are kind of emerging right now are all like Mexico, Latin America. I know there's quite a few ska bands from Mexico that are really popular there.
Dice que un papelillo me prepara un cigarrillo y una china pa'l canuto de hachís. Saca ya la chinatron, venga ya esa chinatron, quémame la chinatron. Saca un papelillo, me prepara un cigarrillo y una china pa'l canuto de hachís. Saca ya la chinatron, venga ya esa chinatron, quémame la chinatron.
I guess it would be more Spanish sounding.
That's cool. I don't know that much about the ska scene in Mexico. So if you know anything else about that, can you talk about
well, they're pretty popular in Mexico. There's a band called I think it's just like Ska P or something. They're really popular. I can't really name any others, but I know that there is a pretty big ska scene down there. I think there's a lot of also like Brazilian ska bands. It seems to be the place for ska right now, I'd say.
Sounds good. Well, I think that's actually all I had for right now. Thank you a lot. Again, is there anything else you wanted to add that I might have missed? Do you have any like specific memories tied to ska music that you could share? Like a specific show that really stood out?
Well, the band that I was saying that we took to Del Rio, that was a little bit ska influenced. I really thought that hardly anyone would like them. It was kind of just more bringing the band for my sake and a couple of other friends, but everyone was really into it, and so I think that if people just kind of gave it a listen, they'd be really into it. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you again.
No style, I'm strictly rude. I pop no style, I'm strictly rude. See her in the club and you call out to me, trying to see her when I look, she